China has fewer than 500,000 schools, so why are there millions of party secretaries hidden inside? This is Jersey News Commentary Channel. In the previous episode, we said that from Zhongnanhai to the village entrance, it is always the party secretary who calls the shots. That episode mainly focused on the operating mechanism of China's secretary empire and the cultural characteristics of its extremely superstable structure. In this episode, we will not talk about theory. We will only look at the data and dissect just one educational sample. So how large is China's education system? Public data show that nationwide there are approximately 270,000 kindergartens, 140,000 primary schools, 50,000 middle schools, 15,000 high schools, 7,000 vocational schools, and 3,167 universities and colleges. Add them together, and the total is fewer than 500,000 schools. So here is the question: inside this system of fewer than 500,000 schools, could there really be millions of party secretaries hidden within it? Do you believe it? Let us first look at higher education. As of June 2025, China excluding Hong Kong and Macau had a total of 3,167 higher education institutions. Among them were 1,365 universities, 1,554 junior colleges, and 248 adult higher education institutions. The moment you break open just one university, you will see a reality so real that it is staggering. Inside an ordinary university, there is usually one party secretary at the university level, 2 to 3 deputy secretaries, 20 to 30 party secretaries at the school or department level. Because after years of expansion, many universities now have 20 to 30 schools or departments. This naturally creates 20 to 30 party secretaries. Then there are 40 to 60 deputy party secretaries at the school level, 15 to 30 party branch secretaries in party and administrative offices, 30 to 60 deputy branch secretaries in those offices, 50 to 150 student party branch secretaries, and 100 to 500 deputy student branch secretaries. It must be pointed out that after the massive expansion of higher education, many otherwise obscure universities now enroll 15,000 to 25,000 students at a time. Some media outlets have described this as college admissions like dumping dumplings into boiling water. So our estimate for student party branch secretaries and deputies is already an extremely conservative one. In other words, by the median estimate, one higher education institution contains at least 450 secretaries of various sizes, real and nominal positions combined. Considering that student party secretaries usually have no real power, we may temporarily call them nominal secretaries. That means 3,167 universities together contain roughly 1.52 million party secretaries, large and small, real and nominal. And this still does not include affiliated hospitals, research institutes, and derivative institutions attached to universities. If those are included, then each university would easily add dozens more party secretaries and deputy secretaries. Many university hospitals alone employ hundreds or even thousands of medical staff. So in China, one university is essentially an independent administrative institution, almost like a miniature state. Do you think a university is merely a teaching institution? It is not. Inside every university exists an entire party apparatus: the propaganda department, organization department, United Front department, discipline inspection commission, party office, and more. These party organs are not auxiliary bodies. They are core structures directly participating in the operation of power alongside the various secretaries. And the story does not end there. Many Chinese universities are themselves hybrid complexes of education, research, and business. Take Tsinghua University for example. It possesses a vast industrial system, such as Tsinghua Unigroup. Peking University likewise has its own industrial network, such as Founder Group. These systems include enterprises, investment platforms, research institutes, and industrial groups. And inside these enterprises there are, once again, party committees, party branches, and secretaries at every level. In other words, a single university is itself a cross-sector power network spanning education, research, and industry. Let us continue downward. There are approximately 65,000 middle schools nationwide. If each school has about 3 to 6 secretaries, that gives roughly 260,000 secretaries, plus at least 520,000 deputy secretaries. For 140,000 primary schools, with 1 to 2 secretaries per school, the total is about 210,000 secretaries, plus another 210,000 deputy secretaries. For 270,000 kindergartens, averaging 0.5 secretaries each, considering many smaller kindergartens operate under joint party branches. That totals about 130,000 secretaries. For 7,000 vocational institutions, there are at least 50,000 secretaries. Once we stack all educational levels together, we arrive at a suffocating figure. In fewer than 500,000 schools, there are roughly 2.64 million party secretaries. And even this remains an extremely conservative estimate. This is not an education issue. This is an issue of institutional design under the CCP system. According to the CCP party constitution, as long as there are 3 full party members, a party branch must be established, and that means there must be a secretary. This means the power structure has already sunk down to the smallest possible organizational unit. In other words, a school is not merely a school. It is a node in the CCP's governing power network. Above every node sits another node, layer upon layer, woven into an airtight fishing net. Teachers, students, and staff are merely the small fish trapped inside it, living cautiously day by day. A child begins encountering this CCP web of power in kindergarten. From the very beginning, the child learns what a party secretary is, and learns that the secretary is the most powerful person in the school. Then comes primary school, middle school, and university. What does the child gradually become accustomed to? He becomes accustomed to the existence of one person who has the final say, a structure that must be obeyed, and a logic of responsibility flowing only upward. As a result, education is no longer merely about transmitting knowledge. It becomes training in adaptation to power and obedience to hierarchy. When the secretary calls the shots, what is essentially being replicated at every level is the logic that one person always has the final say. This is exactly what China's current superstable structure is. At its core, China is not a normal country at all. It is an entire party system, a total structure in which the party controls everything. From Zhongnanhai to the classroom, from the party secretary to the student, this structure is continuously replicated and continuously reinforced. What it ultimately forms is not merely a power system, but a default way of understanding how the world itself operates. And when everything returns to the logic that one person decides everything, and the secretary decides everything, the end point of this structure is no longer development. It can only move inevitably toward collapse.